That means NBA Pick'em Dummies. This is our playoff edition. Hopefully, y'all have been watching the NBA playoffs and following the great games. And round one is just about done with only one team still hanging on to a game seven. That's the Cavs and the Magic. So, of course, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pick that next round now that we're into the conference semifinals and give you a great idea of who's going to be moving on and who ain't. If this is your first time listening to us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that notification button. Hit the like button on the video. Thank you. And remember, we call ourselves Dummies for a reason. Don't go putting all your money in that basket and use our picks, okay? Don't bet your house on what we say.
Unless it's Italian League soccer, then you can come see me about it.
Okay, well, you gotta talk to B about Italian League soccer. Apparently he has the picks. I do not. I don't know what's going on. Oh man. All right, well let's hop into it. We'll start off in the East. The first conference final game is the Pacers taking on the Knicks. The Pacers beat the Bucks in 6 games. Bucks, of course, were injured, missing Giannis Antetokounmpo for the entire series, and also missing Dame for a game or two. The Knicks got it done. Closed out the 76ers. Embiid didn't matter. Maxey, great players, but they're sent home, and the Knicks go to the second round in what they look legit. This is the first time I can say the Knicks actually look like they can make a deep run into the playoffs this year. So they'll be taking on the Pacers. I'll start. I think the Knicks will win in 6 games. The Knicks are a very, very good defensive ball club, and I think that under Tom Thibodeau, you'll continue to see the hustle from DiVincenzo, Josh Hart. You'll continue to see Jalen Brunson light it up. This is a well-oiled machine, and when it comes to out-hustling this team, that's going to be very hard to do. The one thing that's always bothered me with the Pacers is they just don't really play defense at a high level, and I think against a team like this that actually plays hard defensively and actually has all its stars, Jalen Brunson will be playing, so this will not be a Bucks team without Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're going to get the Knicks' very best effort, and I don't know that the Pacers are ready to match that same amount of energy, especially on the defensive end, man. Who you got?
I really like the Pacers style of play, up and down the court real quick. They do get a lot of quick baskets off of made shots, so I think the Knicks are really going to have to hone in on that. Their half-court defense is not the issue here. It's how you stop the Pacers from the quick baskets here, and that's been the Pacers' motto pretty much all year, is getting up and down the court quick, especially off of a made basket. You see a lot of guys getting leaked out. They're scoring baskets 2 to 3 seconds into the shot clock here, so that's how quick they're getting up and down the court here. So I think for the Knicks, it's about stopping that here. Jalen Brunson is a man on a mission, to say the least here. He dropped 40, I think it was like 3 or 4 straight games with 40-plus points here, and crazy. And that's what you want to see. We harped on it all playoffs so far about that killer instinct here. Who's going to show up? Because when you look at these teams that are left, there's no real big veteran left in these here. Outside of, I think, the Joker. These are some fresh
Kyrie
faces
Irving,
here.
Maybe if you wanted to throw that out there.
Kyrie Irving, if you want to put him in that conversation here. But you're seeing a new set of talent. And let's see who's going to come out with that dog in them.
All right.
But I'm taking the Pacers. I just like the style of offense here. It can wear down a half-court defense here, just because they're having to get up and down the court pretty quickly. Do I think the Knicks have the personnel to handle it? Yes, but it's to be seen here. So I made a bunch of bad picks last round, so I might as well just do it
just
again.
Keep it going.
Exactly.
Pick 'em
so
dummies, I'm
going to take the exactly. If I was an expert, I wouldn't be doing my day job. Let's just put it like that. I'm going to take the Pacers in 6 games to close it out at home, just like they did to the Milwaukee Bucks.
All right. So let's move on to the other Eastern Conference semifinal, and that's the Celtics versus whoever the hell wins between the Cavaliers and the Magic. I don't know if it really matters. I'll start off on this one as well. The Celtics will beat the Cavs or the Magic, no matter who comes through. I think the Celtics get it done in 5 games. The Celtics have been playing very well, man. They've come out and, there was a little bit of noise with the Heat winning a game in Boston, but they quick, fast, in a hurry shut that down and beat that team 4-1. So they overcame one hurdle, which is beating the Heat. Now they'll take on either Magic or the Cavs. The Magic are much too young of a team, and although the Magic do play great defense, I don't know if they have enough firepower. Now, the one thing to look out for is Porzingis is injured, so
yes,
that could cause some issues if they play against a bigger, longer team like the Cavs, who have 2 big guys that can really rebound and cause trouble, especially on the offensive boards for the Celtics. So that might be a more difficult matchup, but I think either way, the Celtics are coming out on top. So if they're playing the Magic, I'm picking them 5-1. If they're playing the Cavs, I'll say they're winning 6. But either way, the Celtics move through.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Celtics in 4. It doesn't matter who they're gonna play.
4.
Yeah. I mean, let's just put it like this. I'm not saying that the Heat are a great team. They're a dangerous team when they get into the postseason.
Yeah.
But the fact that it took them to hit 20 plus threes in a game, not even to win by a lot.
Yeah.
They won by less than 10. And the Celtics defense was legit here. And honestly, I don't think Porzingis is that big defensive presence for them. I think he spreads the floor better when he's on the offensive end. But man, you want to talk about a defensive presence? It's just like the Knicks here. The either the Magic or the Cavs, they're not a team that gets up and down. They rely on a half-court offense. So the last thing you want to do is see the number 1 rated defense in a half-court set here. Derek White had a phenomenal first round here. He basically took the pressure off of Tatum and Jaylen Brown to handle to take care of the scoring there for them, which is, I mean, fantastic. But I think Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum's going to have a bigger impact in this second round here. So it doesn't really matter who is going to be in front of them. Let's get, I hope for a Celtic Nick Eastern Conference, even though I am taking the Pacers in that matchup, but I wouldn't be mad if I saw Celtic Knicks Eastern Conference final to go to the NBA Finals. I think that would be fun here.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, let's move over to the West Coast, and we'll take a look at the conference semifinals there. Starting with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. So this is one of the better matchups. This is the 2 and 3 seed playing against each other. The Timberwolves have been a pretty darn good season, had a pretty darn good season, and looked pretty convincing in a sweep over the Phoenix Suns. They got it done, and it looked easy. So here they are taking on the defending champs. Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., KCP, and the team, of course, beat the Lakers out 4-1. However, I am concerned about the Nuggets only because as bad as the Lakers look at the final tally when we look at the score, most of those games were close. And a lot of them were with the Lakers being up in 3 of those games were with the Lakers being up in double digits. So I don't know if they're going to have the same mental, spell, curse, whatever the hell you want to call it, they had over the Lakers over this Timberwolves team. This Timberwolves team is up and coming. They're new, they're young, and they're probably not going to care too much about who they're playing. A couple of key things here are going to be Jokic can move Gobert, but Gobert is going to be the longest and biggest person that Jokic is going to have to play against.
Yes.
So that may cause a little bit of problem for him, only because he is going to have to get that ball over the top of him. The other thing is, I don't know who in the hell is going to guard Big Cat. I'm assuming they're going to put Aaron Gordon on him, which actually might not be a bad matchup, unless Cat decides to put his back to the basket. That might change things a little bit. And they have no answer for Ant Edwards. This is where the matchups are different. Where before, when they were playing against the Lakers, the 2 guys that they needed to check were a big and a 4 in LeBron, who basically is playing the 4 role. Now they're going to actually have to check a guard, and that's in Ant Edwards. And I don't know who in the hell. I guess they're going to throw KCP at him more than likely, but he's a little small. They definitely can't have Jamal Murray switched onto him, so I'm sure they're going to try to avoid that at all costs. But and then you also got Mike Conley, so they're not going to be able to take defensive possessions off like they did against the Lakers, who really had a up and down D'Angelo Russell who was not consistent. Mike Conley will be a lot more consistent, and Edwards can literally take over a game. And then you've got Big Cat and the Eiffel Tower. I don't know what I just said. It's the Gobert, who can swallow up the ball on the defensive end, as defensive and offensive rebound. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a tougher matchup. So I'm gonna take the Timberwolves to finish this in 7 games against the Nuggets.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm taking the Wolves in 7 as well. And you hit on the biggest points. I think the biggest surprise in these playoffs is the performance of Anthony Edwards. You know, he had a little bit of a postseason taste last year. You want to talk about that killer instinct? This dude did not care. He's over here giving the D-Generation X suck it sign to the entire Suns
team.
Did
you see that, Doug?
Did you see? Poor Kevin Durant. I mean, like, that was a business decision. That was a poster decision not to get involved with that dunk. But you can see the way that he is going about. This is a strictly business playoffs for him. And I'm not saying that all players are like that, but you see a different mentality from Anthony Edwards. He is slowly turning into one of my favorite players right now in this postseason. If there's any team I'm watching right now, it is the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I can see what Anthony Edwards is going to do here. But he's also picking it up on the defensive end for him as well. He was locked on to Kevin Durant and actually did a pretty good job in the series against KD here. But you hit it the point here. What's gonna help them the most, I think, is Mike Conley here, because the Nuggets are playing a true point guard here. Yeah. And all he's going to do is look to facilitate to his top 3 scorers. Rudy Gobert may not be asked to score a whole lot, but he is a defensive presence here that I think is going to be a problem for Jokic here. And we all know that Jokic doesn't play defense. So I think, you know, if you try to switch, you can put a switch on Jokic to Karl Anthony Towns, and that's going to favor the Wolves a lot because Karl Anthony Towns is a pretty good moving big man, but I think the real secret recipe to make sure that the Wolves do win this is the play of Jeff McDaniels here. He had a great first series against the Suns here. He needs to take that over because the one thing that Denver does have is their bench is actually pretty decent. So he's going to have to really counter that for them. So if everything goes well, I think the Wolves do win in 7 and there's no repeat champion.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for. The other thing I'll point out, too, is the whole league hopefully has figured out by now there are no shot blockers on that Denver Nuggets team. You got to get to the basket.
I don't get why no one's done it yet. It's still an anomaly that no one wants to go to the hoop against a non-shot blocker.
If you see Jokic in front of you, go.
Just go to the hoop.
He's not going to block. Moving on. So let's move on to the Thunder and the Mavericks, who, thank you, Mavericks, for at least making my season as a Lakers fan not suck as much by defeating the Flippers as they go out in the first round. 5 years of the 3-headed or 2-headed monster they had with Kawhi and Paul George. They added Harden, thought that would make them better, and it did absolutely nothing. They're gone. So good luck. Thought you could win a championship in LA. Probably not. You're going to open a new stadium. Not sure who's going to show up. Have fun with that, Mr. Ballmer. But thank you, Mavericks, for that. On the other end, the Thunder took care of business. Completely swept the Pelicans. No problem. Easy money.
That was too easy.
I only watched like 2 games this series, man. The Thunder and the Mavericks, I think, will be a very, very good matchup. You're looking at a veteran team in the Mavericks, who has some young guys in there too. But you were talking about Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, who at this point we can call a vet. And then PJ Washington has been great. Gafford has been amazing, played amazing tonight. They've got some great young talent on this team that could really give or hang with the young guys from the Thunder and Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. I think Gafford and even Lively have the size to keep with Chet Holmgren. And so this is going to be a great matchup. I think defensively, the Mavericks are not the greatest team, so I think the Thunder will be able to get the ball into the hoop. But there's just something about Luka, Kyrie. They're playing hard, man. I watched that game today. Kyrie's diving on the ground. These guys actually believe that they can get all the way to the championship or all the way to the finals. And we're really starting to see that pickup. They beat the team on the road. They came home, handled business. Didn't matter. So I'm actually going to pick the Mavericks. I think the Mavericks upset the Thunder, playing in the Western Conference Finals. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving going up against the Timberwolves for a chance at a brand new champion. And I think having these young guys, having these new teams in the Western Conference Finals, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to pick the Mavericks to win in 6 games against the Thunder.
After that speech there, I was going to take the Mavs, but I'm going to stick with the Thunder here. I really like the Thunder and everything that they've been doing here. I think for them, the biggest X factor in this series is going to be Chet Holmgren here. He's going to have a really good series. Likely had a really good series against the Clippers here. He ended up getting a lot of the playing time here for it. The thing that does scare me, though, is the way that Luka and Kyrie Irving are playing right now. It's not a big backcourt, but the thing that separates them from a lot of these teams is the way that they handle the ball and the way that they can create space, not only to get their own shot, but to put guys in good positions here to get shots as well here. I think SGA should be able to help out with that. Jalen Williams is a bigger body, so he's going to be stuck on one of those guys. So he will present a bit of a defensive matchup there, but this is all coming down. It's going to be down to the starters here. So who's going to be better? And the Thunder have shown that they've been the better team all year. So I'm going to ride with the young kids here. I do want a Wolves Thunder Western Conference Finals. If we can get, look, either one of these teams against the Wolves would be great, but if you can get an Ant Edwards versus an SGA matchup in the Western Conference Finals, I'm not mad at that at all. So I'm going to take the Thunder in 7 games.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. We've got our picks in, and then we're looking forward to the Sunday show.
Are we ever
talking about the death of the Lakers and Darvin Ham? Because that was not fun. As a Laker fan, that was not fun at all. And just like we got a chance to kind of talk about what's next for the Warriors, we're gonna do the same thing for the Lakers and see what's on the horizon. Obviously, we got old LeBron out there trying to do his thing and pretend like he's gonna retire. And the Bronny James situation, does that matter?
Yep.
Who's the next coach? I'm hoping it's Tyronn Lue. Thank you, Clip. Thank you, Mavericks, again. And maybe B can try to spin some weird tale about how the Warriors are going to end up with LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo on the same team.
Hey, man. I told you before the series started that when these teams were going to be ousted, and if it was in the first round, there will be some conversation. And every team that I picked on for players that should go to the Warriors are all out in the first round. So this is going to be a fun conversation, man. I cannot wait for it here.
That's right. The only folks that are hurting harder than Laker fans are Drake fans. Anyway, so we're gonna
come on, man.
On that note,
you can't be taking shots at him like Kendrick Lamar.
On that note, we're going to end the show. We appreciate it, and again, if you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the notification bell, hit the like button. We appreciate it, and it doesn't cost you anything to do it. So go ahead and click the button. On that, folks, check us out Sunday, 6:30 Pacific time. We will have our regularly scheduled Sunday evening show. Join us so we can go through the rest of these playoffs and hopefully talk about some really good round 2 first games. All right, y'all. Peace.